Hey guys, welcome to another video. Today we'll be discussing about decision making set from XAT 2022. So let's look at this set. Raghuveer, a reputed doctor, practices medicine in a tier 3 city, T3, ठीक है? Reputed doctor, medicine in tier 3 city. He owns an imported SUV. ऐसा वैसा SUV नहीं है, imported SUV, which he bought 10 years ago using his hard-earned savings of nearly 5 years. Initially, he used to take it for longer rides, ठीक है? But for last 6 to 7 years, he only commutes to his clinic a 10-minute drive from his home. We are given information about Raghuveer. We are given information about his imported SUV. ठीक है? And now he takes his SUV only to his office, which is a 10-minute drive. मतलब उसका SUV का यूसेज बहुत कम हो गया. ठीक है? Now, next paragraph. The SUV has been his proud possession. मतलब बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट पोजीशन है उसका. ठीक है? बट इट डिमांड्स हाई मेंटेनेंस. इंपोर्टेड एसयूवी है तो हाई मेंटेनेंस तो होगा ही. ऑल्सो द डीजल गसलिंग एसयूवी, मतलब बहुत ज़्यादा डीजल पीता है उसका एसयूवी. डज नॉट कंप्लाई विथ न्यू एमिशन नॉर्म्स बीइंग इंट्रोड्यूस्ड इन टीयर 1 एंड टीयर 2 सिटीज. तो टीयर 1 एंड टीयर 2 सिटीज में अभी कुछ डीजल व्हीकल्स को लेके या इन जनरल व्हीकल्स को लेके कुछ नॉर्म्स आए. ठीक है? एमिशन नॉर्म्स. एंड माइंड यू, दिस इज ओनली फॉर टीयर 1 एंड टीयर 2 सिटीज. ठीक है? It has not been implemented in tier 3 city. Of late, a few newspapers reported that the new emission norms may be introduced in tier 3 cities as well. This news has worried Raghuveer. अब ये जो न्यू एमिशन नॉर्म्स है, एमिशन नॉर्म्स, नाउ दिस इज सपोज टू बी इम्प्लीमेंटेड इन टीयर 3 सिटी एज वेल. ठीक है? अब रघुवीर को क्या हो रहा है, बहुत ज़्यादा चिंता हो रहा है उसको कि अब वो इम्पोर्टेड एसयूवी का क्या करेगा, बिकॉज इट डज नॉट comply with the new emission norms. Now, on the basis of this passage, we are given three questions. तो अब देखते हैं क्वेश्चन क्या है. And remember, I told you in the previous videos that these passages give you a situation, and these situations are very easy to read and comprehend. ठीक है? So, while you are reading this passage, your speed should not be very slow and should not be very fast. It should be an optimum decent speed, so that whatever you are reading is being processed by your mind very accurately and correctly. मतलब आपको बार बार ये पैसेज पढ़ने का जरूरत नहीं है. ठीक है? एक बार ही पढ़ो, टेक 2 minutes ऑफ टाइम और अच्छे से पढ़ो इसको. बिकॉज द क्वेश्चंस आर बेस्ड ऑन वन पर्टिकुलर लाइन फ्रॉम दिस पैसेज. नाउ लेट्स सी. Raghuveer is afraid that once the new emission norms are rolled out, he might not be able to use his SUV anymore. Which of the following best options put Raghuveer at ease with using his SUV for some more time? अब ये क्वेश्चन कौन सा लाइन के ऊपर है? इस लाइन के ऊपर है. दिस न्यूज हैज वरीड रघुवीर. कौन सा न्यूज? ये न्यू एमिशन नॉर्म्स जो टीयर 3 सिटी में इम्प्लीमेंट होने वाला है. ठीक है? दिस इज द sentence on which this question is based. So which of the following options will best put Raghuveer at ease? He will not be that worried. ठीक है? तो इसमें से चूज करना है जो रघुवीर को उतना ज्यादा वरी नहीं करे. तो माई लाइन ऑफ थिंकिंग शुड बी कि उसके पास जो एसयूवी है वो एमिशन नॉर्म्स को फॉलो नहीं करता है. ठीक है? कौन सा एमिशन नॉर्म्स को? जो टीयर 1 एंड टीयर 2 सिटीज में लगा हुआ है. नाउ वंस दिस एमिशन नॉर्म्स कम्स इन टीयर 3 सिटी, he will not be able to use his SUV anymore. But is there any other option? या कोई बीच का रास्ता है क्या? अगर कोई बीच का रास्ता है, दैट सॉल्यूशन शुड बी जो उसको एट ईज करेगा. ठीक है? ही विल वरी लेस. लेट्स सी. His mechanic assures him that the new norms will not be introduced anytime soon. ठीक है. एनी टाइम सून. सून मतलब इट मे बी 1 मंथ, 2 मंथ, 3 मंथ्स, और एट मैक्स 1 ईयर. ठीक है. बट वॉट विल हैपन आफ्टर 1 और 2 years? इट मे बी इंट्रोड्यूस्ड. तो उसका ये जो वरी करने का ये जो है, ये तो कम नहीं होगा ना. सो दिस ऑप्शन इज एलिमिनेटेड. और ऑल्सो उसका जो मैकेनिक जो है, मैकेनिक इज नॉट एन क्रेडिबल पर्सन टू जज एनीथिंग अबाउट दिस एमिशन नॉर्म्स कमिंग टू दिस टीयर 3 सिटी. ठीक है. His lawyer friends in his city recently bought non-compliant SUVs from tier 2 cities. अब देखो, इसका lawyer friends जो है, what they have done, they have recently purchased कौन सा? The non-compliant SUVs from tier 2 cities. जो भी tier 2 cities में ये SUV जो चल रहा था, उन लोगों ने क्या किया, वहां से वो लोग खरीद के टीयर 3 सिटी में ले आए. और ये कौन थे? इसके लॉयर फ्रेंड्स थे. ठीक है. नाउ फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, लॉयर फ्रेंड्स अ क्रेडिबल सोर्स. ठीक है. और next thing is कि since they are credible source, and even after knowing that this new norm may be introduced in tier 3 city, still they have bought the non-compliant SUV from tier 2 city. इसका मतलब क्या है? इसका मतलब क्या है कि they know कि his lawyer friends somehow know that how this law system works, और ये जो emission norms है, ठीक है, it might not be introduced into tier 3 city फॉर अ स्पेसिफिक ड्यूरेशन. ठीक है. लेट्स से 4-5 ईयर्स तक तो नहीं हो सकता है इंट्रोड्यूस. ठीक है. इसलिए उन लोगों ने क्या किया, ये नॉन कंप्लाइंट एसयूवी टीयर 2 सिटी से थोड़ा कम दाम में परचेस करके हो सकता है. दे हैव ब्रॉट इट टू टीयर 3 सिटी. ठीक है. अब सपोज ये अगर एमिशन नॉर्म्स 1-2 ईयर में अगर इम्प्लीमेंट हो जाता, सो वाई विल दे बाय दिस नॉन कंप्लाइंट एसयूवी? क्योंकि उनका पैसा तो वेस्ट हो जाएगा ना. तो दे मस्ट बी नोइंग दैट दिस न्यू नॉर्म्स विल नॉट बी इंट्रोड्यूस्ड एनी टाइम इन द टीयर 3 सिटी. इसलिए उन्होंने बाई कर लिया. ठीक है. सो दिस कैन बी द आंसर. क्योंकि रघुवीर के लॉयर फ्रेंड्स ने बाई किया, तो उसके पास क्या हो गया, भरोसा हो गया कि ये जो न्यू एमिशन नॉर्म्स है वो टीयर 3 सिटी में अभी फिलहाल तो नहीं लगेगा. अगर लगता तो ये लोग बाय नहीं करते. ठीक है. एंड सिंस हिज लॉयर फ्रेंड्स आर फ्रॉम लॉ बैकग्राउंड, दे नो वेरी वेल कि कब क्या होता है एज कम्पेयर टू लीगैलिटी ऑफ दीज काइंड ऑफ सिचुएशंस. ठीक है. तो नाउ व्हाट विल हैपन, ही विल हैव अ कम्युनिटी हु विल हैव नॉन कंप्लाइंट एसयूवीज. सो उसका जो ये वरी करने का जो नेचर है वो थोड़ा कम हो जाएगा. सो बी कैन बी माई ऑप्शन. नाउ लेट्स कम टू सी. हिज सिटी हैज मेनी अदर एसयूवीज विच आर एज ओल्ड एज हिज. ठीक है. हिज सिटी हैज मेनी अदर एसयूवीज, meaning other is very important, which is as old as his. Let's suppose there are 1,000 SUVs in tier 3 city which are as old as his. ठीक है. तो उससे क्या है? Now whether all these SUVs are exactly same as his SUV, which does not comply with the new norms, and it is telling that many other SUV. ठीक है. That means उसके जैसा SUV तो नहीं है. His SUV is a special one, it is imported one. ठीक है. और उसका हो सकता है इंजन अलग है या कुछ और स्पेसिफिकेशंस ऐसा है कि ड्यू टू विच इट इज नॉट कंप्लाइंग विद द न्यू एमिशन नॉर्म्स. बट देयर माइट बी अ केस दैट अदर एसयूवीज, that's why I was stating that this word other is very important. There might be other SUVs, even though they are as old as his, still comply with the new norms. So in that case, अगर बाकी सारे SUV which are as old as his are complying with the new norms, and और उसका SUV comply नहीं कर रहा है, तो उसको तो और ज्यादा वरी हो जाएगा ना. So this cannot be the answer. As a sought after doctor, ठीक है, as a sought after doctor, all the law enforcement officials are his patients. As a sort of the doctor, all the law enforcement officials are his patients. तो उससे क्या है? ठीक है, उसका जो भी लॉ को एनफोर्स करते हैं उसका पेशेंट है, तो दे विल ओनली बी एबल टू गाइड हिम कि वेदर दिस न्यूज इज ट्रू और फॉल्स और विल बी इम्प्लीमेंटेड राइट अवे और नॉट। ठीक है, तो देर माइट बी पॉसिबिलिटी कि उन वो लोग उनको रघुवीर को बोलते कि ये कल कल या एक महीने में इम्प्लीमेंट हो जाएगा। तो दिस विल डू व्हाट, इट विल इट विल मेक रघुवीर मोर अप्रेस्ड। ठीक है, और हो सकता है कि ये लोग बोले कि नहीं 4-5 साल बाद हो सकता है, तो इट विल नाउ रघुवीर विल बी एट ईज। ठीक है, तो ये यस भी हो सकता है, नो भी हो सकता है, तो हेंस दिस कैन नॉट बी द आंसर। नाउ ऑप्शन ई, नॉन कंप्लाइंट एसयूवीज आर स्टिल प्लाइंग इन टीयर 2 सिटीज। नॉन कंप्लाइंट एसयूवीज आर स्टिल प्लाइंग इन टीयर 2 सिटीज। तो टीयर 2 सिटीज में अगर नॉन कंप्लाइंट एसयूवीज अगर चल रहा है तो कितने चल रहे हैं, एक या 1,000, वी डोंट नो। और इवन इफ दे आर स्टिल प्लाइंग, ठीक है, देयर माइट बी पॉसिबिलिटी दैट दे आर डूइंग इट इलीगली। ठीक है, they are doing it illegally. If it is illegal because the new norms has been introduced in tier 2 city, ठीक है, if this new norm has been introduced in tier 2 city and still there are some people who are still using their non-compliant SUVs, then that is 100% illegal। ठीक है, so if it is 100% illegal तो आज ना कभी तो पकड़े जाएंगे वो लोग। ठीक है, अगर वो लोग पकड़े जाएंगे तो रघुवीर कैसे ईज पे होगा, he will be more oppressed, so he cannot be the answer, so option B is the correct answer। Let's look at next question। Anya, Raghuvi's daughter, works in a metro city. ठीक है, she is concerned about private transport emissions and is unhappy with her father's diesel guzzling SUV। So Anya is worried about environment। Why? Because उसके father के पास diesel guzzling SUV था। Though she wants her father to be more environmentally responsible, she is aware that any drastic suggestion might attract strong resistance। She is very concerned about the environment, but at the same time she would not straight away say anything to her father that would result in very strong resistance। ठीक है, जैसे कि टेल हिज फादर टेल हर फादर टू स्ट्रेट अवे सेल हिज ओल्ड एसयूवी। ठीक है, तो उसके फादर तो ही वॉज वेरी प्राउड विथ हिज ओल्ड एसयूवी। ठीक है, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है उनके लिए, तो दीज काइंड ऑफ स्टेटमेंट्स विल बी वेरी ड्रास्टिक स्टेप। तो नेक्स्ट, हेंस शी वांट्स अ सॉल्यूशन एक्सेप्टेबल टू रघुवीर, मतलब a statement which is balanced, which is not very drastic but still does the job, that gently dissuades, gently very important term, gently dissuades। ठीक है, gently dissuades him from using his SUV on daily basis। मतलब suppose you want to tell a child to not do something, ठीक है, you can do it in two ways। एक तो उसको स्ट्रिक्टली मना कर दो, और एक उसको ऐसे बोलो, एक उसको प्यार से बोलो। ठीक है, मतलब मेक हिम अंडरस्टैंड द सिचुएशन कि वो अपने से ही वो काम नहीं करे। सो this question says that we need to choose this path. Gently dissuade, gently discourage him from using his SUV on daily basis। Let's see the options। Request Raghuveer to use public transport for his daily commute and use SUV sparingly। ये क्या बोल रहा है? And the most important part of this question is कि using his SUV on daily basis। ठीक है, daily basis नहीं, occasional basis पे he can use his SUV। So one thing it is straight away targeting the question is using sparingly. ठीक है, ये तो ठीक है. This is in line with this question. But this part request Raghuveer to use public transport for daily commute. Raghuveer is a very renowned doctor, and for past several years he has been using his imported SUV. ठीक है, थोड़ा हाई फाई क्लास का आदमी है. तो why Raghuveer will switch to public transport? He will not go. Suppose you have an Audi car, ठीक है, and you use it every day to your office, and somebody tells you that कि इसको एवरीडे यूज मत करो, इसको ओनली ऑन फ्राइडे सैटरडे यूज करो और बाकी टाइम पे यू गो वाया पब्लिक ट्रांसपोर्ट और पब्लिक मेट्रो. ठीक है, विल यू गो? नो, नेवर. सो ऑप्शन ए एलिमिनेटेड. Asks his mechanic to explore if SUV can be retrofitted with CNG kit. अब देखो, retrofitted with CNG kit. ठीक है, I am retrofitting it with CNG kit. Now this option is telling me that CNG is better than diesel. ठीक है, so you replace or you run that SUV on an alternate fuel, which is CNG, which is less environmentally harmful. But whether after installing this CNG kit, this will come under new emission norms or not, we don't know. Okay. And also, whether it will be successful or not, we also don't know. And the most important thing is how will this particular option dissuade Raghuveer from using his SUV on daily basis? This particular option is going in different direction. You are completely changing that SUV. अगर that is completely changing that SUV, ठीक है, तो he will use it every day. He will use it every day. So the question says that which of the option will dissuade him, discourage him from using his SUV on daily basis. So if everything is fine, let's suppose retrofitting of CNG kit is uh, also going with this norm. Okay, is accepted under this new norm, and it is also environmentally less harmful. So in that case, he will be using his SUV more and more. तो डेली बेसिस पे कम कैसे हो रहा है? नहीं हो रहा है ना. So this is also not the option. Take away Raghuveer's SUV to Metro City and give him new SUV. This is a very extreme option. His SUV is a proud possession. बहुत मेहनत से खरीदा है उसने और उसको अपने एसयूवी पे बहुत ज़्यादा गर्व है. ठीक है, तो यू कैन नॉट टेक अवे हिज because he is also emotionally attached to his SUV. So you cannot take away his SUV and gift him a new SUV. ठीक है, so this is also not the option. Gift Raghuveer a small petrol car and convince him to sell his SUV. यहाँ तक ठीक है. स्मॉल कार तुम उसको दे दो. इससे क्या होगा कि sometimes he will be using that petrol car and sometimes he will be using his SUV. But what about selling his SUV? This is a drastic step. You cannot tell him to sell his SUV because he is emotionally attached to it. So D is also not the option. Ask Raghuveer's secretary to ferry him to clinic in her car daily, daily, very important, daily, except for weekends. देखो यहाँ पे जो मेन पर्पस है क्वेश्चन का दैट इज बीइंग सॉल्व्ड. Raghuveer's secretary, she owns a car, so it may not be as as good as his SUV, but फिर भी ठीक है ना वो कार. And after all, she is Raghuveer's secretary, so he can travel with her secretary daily in her car. ठीक है, तो वहां से तो वन थिंग इज क्लियर कि ही इज नॉट यूजिंग हिज एसयूवी डेली, and on weekends he can use his SUV. So this purpose is being solved. He is not using his SUV daily, and also this particular option is discouraging Raghuveer or giving him alternate option to not use his SUV daily. So E is the correct answer. Let's see question 29. The new emission norms are about to get implemented in tier 3 cities. and Raghuveer city will follow the suit shortly. Tier 3 city में भी emission norms आ जाएगा. Hence Raghuveer starts exploring options of buying electric vehicle. Raghuveer now wants to buy electric vehicle. He lists the following factors that will guide him on buying electric car. Now see, nowhere in this question it is mentioned that he will sell his SUV. Okay, so you cannot assume that even though if he is buying electric SUV, uh, electric vehicle, and even though after the implementation of this new emission norms, his SUV will no longer comply with the new norms, he will still not sell his SUV. Okay, nowhere it is mentioned that whether he will sell or he will not sell. Okay, so we cannot make this assumption. We only need to go by the information given in the question. We cannot assume anything. He wants to buy his he wants to buy his electric car because after the implementation of the new norms, he will no longer be able to use his SUV. Okay? Only on the basis of this information, we have to go forward with this question. Now there are 4 points: one, two, three, four, five. Now in these type of questions, when points are given, first of all, read the question stem, then go back to the points which are mentioned in the question. Which of the following options will best help Raghuveer buy an electric car vehicle immediately? The word immediately is very important. अभी अभी के अभी खरीदना है उसको. And which of the following options will best help Raghuveer buy electric car immediately? Now, one, two, three, four, five. There are five statements, and in every option there are all the five statements. So now you have to, the above listed factors have been arranged in decreasing order of influence in the options given below. Now the question says that which will be the most logical and most high priority step, then followed by आपका प्रायोरिटी और लॉजिकल कम होते जाएगा. ठीक है, सो सबसे बेस्ट स्टेटमेंट सबसे पहले आएगा और सबसे वर्स्ट स्टेटमेंट लास्ट में आएगा. Now let's look at the statements. So first of all, before reading the statements, we will look at the options first. So this starts with TQS. TQS starts with TQS. So my point of elimination will be this, and it ends with S PSR. PSR. Now let's see the statements. Statement P says EVs within Raghuveer's budget can cover his daily commute but not long rides. ठीक है, this is positive, this is negative. ठीक है, so what the statement wants to tell me that can cover his daily commute. That means उसका office तक तो he will be able to go very smoothly, but on weekends or let's suppose when he wants to go to longer rides, since the range of the electric vehicles are not that much, he will not be able to use for longer rides. ठीक है, so P cannot be the starting statement because कहीं पे पॉजिटिव है और यहाँ पे थोड़ा बहुत नेगेटिव भी है. We have to select a very much positive statement. ठीक है, so this will come in between because completely negative भी नहीं है, completely positive भी नहीं है. Statement Q says a new electric SUV in the market within his budget nearly has same look and feel of his present SUV. मतलब it is nearly same, nearly or exactly same. This is a very positive statement because first of all it's a new electric SUV and that also it is within his budget. This positive, this is also positive. Nearly has same look and feel of his present SUV. जो उसका present SUV का look and feel है, it is same. ठीक है, so that will compel him to buy this new SUV. So Q can be my starting statement. Now let's see S and T. S, new charging stations on the main highway connecting his city to close metro city may come up in another year. May come up. अभी तक नहीं आया. So S cannot be a starting statement. This is positive, but this is not as positive as a statement Q. ठीक है? It may come up. And let us analyze this particular statement from different direction. It says that which of the following options will best help Raghuveer to buy an electric car immediately. Your decision of buying the electric car immediately cannot be dependent on the charging stations that will come up next year. Okay. So statement S is positive, but it cannot be a starter. So we can reject option E. Start तो नहीं हो सकता. Now it is not completely negative. It is not completely negative. It is a positive statement. Slightly positive, but positive. ठीक है. So it cannot end also. But let's see. अच्छा. There's one more statement. Statement R. EVs cannot be driven beyond a speed of 70 km per hour. This is a perfectly negative statement. इसमें कुछ positive है ही नहीं. So R can be your end. Statement S can come before R. ठीक है. Now let's look at the last option T. The only shop selling SUV selling EVs in his city is ready to trade in Raghuveer's SUV at a reasonable price. This is also a very good starting point. The only shop selling There is only one particular shop in his city that sells SUV, that sells EVs, and is ready to trade Raghuveer's SUV at a reasonable price. Okay. Although he doesn't, although we don't know whether he wants to sell or not, but this particular statement wants us to convince that he wants to sell. Okay. And this particular shop is giving him a very reasonable price. So T is a positive statement, positive for Raghuveer. Okay. Now we can straight away say that Q can be our starter. It starts with Q. A new electric SUV in the market within his budget has same look and feel. It starts with Q. ठीक है तो A और D गया. No, it starts with Q. Now you can eliminate or select between B and C, S and R. So according to me, as I have said a while earlier, that for me S will be before R because S is slightly positive and R is completely negative. ठीक है. So I will choose statement C or option C. ठीक है तो option C is the correct answer. This should be my line of reasoning. I hope you got this particular decision making set. ठीक है. See you in the next video.